Stop wasting supplements that aren't going to help you achieve your fitness goals. I'm going to explain the top supplements that you need with recommendations that are going to help you get lean and athletic. So stick around to see what the perfect stack is for you from somebody who's been in the coaching game for over 7 years and has a sports science degree. See, I've wasted thousands of pounds on supplements over the course of the last 6 to 10 years. Which is a long time to be training. And these are the ones I wish I knew more about when I first started, so I didn't spend money on unnecessary pre-workouts, the wrong types of creatine, fat burners. And so here's a breakdown of the supplements that I currently use that's helped me get from 80 plus kilos down to photo shoot weight. And these supplements are going to help you be on top of your game, train hard, feel fit, healthy, and get you in better shape if, and I make this perfectly clear, you eat well, sleep well, train hard, and recover harder. Supplements are there to add on top of what you're already doing. So if you eat like shit, sleep like shit, don't train with any sort of intensity, don't recover well, don't get enough protein in, you're gonna struggle to be able to utilize these to the best of their ability. So first up, we have the heavy hitter, which is creatine. Now, creatine monohydrate is a naturally occurring compound already created in the body. Increase the output of what's already going on. And so what ATP is used in is to create ATP, so adenine triphosphate. So when you exercise, you actually have micro hooks attached into the sliding filament theory, which means that as you contract, these hooks lock in on that contraction. Creatine monohydrate is used to create ATP, which is the energy source that these bonds use. And when it gets ATP, it then unlinks that. So what we're doing is we're adding more creatine into the system so that we can create more ATP to unlock these hooks more often. And that allows us to build more strength, build more power, and recover faster. It also activates mTOR signaling, which is the compound used in muscle protein synthesis. 1 scoop per day is plenty, on offer in Tesco, so I bought it. But I quite like using a flavored one so that I can have it first thing in the morning, a bit like having some squash. So I don't have to really think about it too much. But again, I try and have all my supplements in the morning because it makes things nice and easy. So yeah, creatine, 100% recommend to everybody, whether you're trying to lose weight, drop body fat, gain a ton of muscle mass, whether you're 80 years old or 16 years old. It has a massive benefit for brain health. There is some potential research coming out to suggest that it helps with brain matter and gray matter retention, which would be wild for anyone that is struggling with long-term brain health. Next up, we've got vitamin D and K2. I use the one from Better You, but I've also used the tablet form as well. I think I just like the spray because, again, a little bit of flavor, something different, and it was on offer in Tesco's for 3 for 2. So I was like, yeah, well, 100% just get 3 of these bad boys. So vitamin D and K2 is a fat-soluble vitamin, which means that they can be easily dissolved and transported in the body through fat. So this is why dietary fat is so important when you are trying to eat a nice, well-balanced diet. This is why eating some oily fish, salmon specifically, is a really good option. Avocados, nuts, and olives are all recommended within a good, balanced nutrition diet. And what that means is then it's easy for this to be absorbed and then utilized. We all know that vitamin D helps a hell of a lot. It's produced by the sun, and living in the UK where there's barely any sunshine, getting some extra vitamin D helps just boosting the mood and boosting the immune system. It also helps with calcium absorption. Now, for most people, that's very useful because it offsets the effects of getting older, like osteoporosis and osteoarthritis. You can tell I'm dieting because I can't find my words half the time. But that creates a potential risk of long-term arthritis if we're not having calcium in our diets. And this is why dietary fats are so important, and having dairy in your diet is important. So don't always think about going for fat-free options. Dietary fat is really good for us, and it's different from internally stored energy, which is that adipose tissue, which is also called fat. So just remember that, okay? Vitamin K2 also then directly improves bone health, teeth health, and blood vessel function, apparently, and heart health, which of course comes as a natural byproduct of helping blood vessels too. With the dosages, 3 sprays of this is what's recommended on the packet. Then we have a good multivitamin. At the moment, I'm taking the one from March On just because it was on offer on the website that I use. Have I noticed any difference taking this compared to another one? No. Does it just look cool and part of March On branding? Yes. So maybe that's why I got tucked into buying it. But a good multivitamin will include 21 essential nutrients, 600 milligrams of ashwagandha. What we can say here is there's a good amount of B vitamins, and B vitamins are one of the ones that is often lacking in most people's diets. It helps to produce energy because it's a coenzyme in metabolic processes, RNA and DNA production as well, and then maintaining healthy blood cells and a nervous system. And yes, I did 100% read that off Google, but if you wanted a little bit more support of that having a good multivitamin is essential, Hannah et al. In 2022 published an article on B vitamins, the function and uses in medicine, and this is part of their abstract. B vitamins are a group of 8 water-soluble vitamins. The body does not store them, so they need to be replaced daily. B vitamins are found in animal proteins, dairy products, leafy green vegetables, and beans. So if you're struggling to then get that food quality in, having some sort of multivitamin throughout the week is going to help just bump those levels up even more. Overall, their function can generally be divided into catabolic and metabolic sources, so leading to energy production, and anabolic metabolism, resulting in bioactive molecules. Essentially, this is a critical cofactor for transport, synthesis of neurotransmitters, and many cellular metabolic pathways. B vitamins are cofactors for many essential enzymes involved in biosynthesis of RNA and DNA. So essentially, if you get good quality multivitamins in and vitamin D, that helps with the production of DNA. If you don't have a good DNA sequence, you're not going to be able to produce the proteins that are needed for your bodily functions. So get B vitamins in. That's why if you're a vegan, it is very worth supplement with B16 and other B vitamins. Most multivitamins will then contain some form of zinc, magnesium, which this one does, and it just helps to bump up the typical levels that you're probably already consuming from healthy, good quality vegetables, meats, fish, dairy, that sort of thing. Supports heart health, reduces inflammation, boosts brain function, and improves muscle recovery because it reduces exercise-induced inflammation and soreness. Generally, 1 or 2 of these a day is what's recommended by March on. At the moment, I just take 1 a day because my diet is 99% non-processed foods. So at the moment I'm eating pretty much whole foods, and that's consisting of breakfast, which is pre-workout oats, and then I go and train. Post-training is then mince, Brussels sprouts, potato, some taco seasoning. Meal 3 is a double up of chicken, butternut squash, and peppers with some shawarma seasoning. And then I have another meal of basically minced potato and green beans. And then last thing at night, I've got some yogurt, protein powder, and some frozen berries. And that's pretty much what I've been eating for the last 6 weeks. And that's why I'm like sub 10% body fat 3 weeks out from a photo shoot. Let's get back on track. So lastly, we've then got fish oils. Now, fish oils is one thing that I think are completely underrated by most people. Again, I am taking the March on one because it was on offer. Most people don't get enough oily fish in their diet, so having some sort of omega-3 supplementation is going to be extremely useful. This supports heart health, reduces inflammation, boosts brain function, and improves muscle recovery. Whilst I'm dieting and training 8 times per week, and with my knee, I'm having about 3 to 6 of these a day. So 3 in the morning, 3 in the evening. Typically, I'm not the kind of person that's going to be like, oh, you should take these at specific times. I'm always an advocate of whatever is easiest and simplest is better. If you find taking everything first thing in the morning, go for it. I think that's a really good option for most people. General health is about 25 to 40 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. As I said, like the simplest way of doing it is like 2 to 3 soft gels a day. It's going to be perfect for most people. And the reason for it being so useful, it just helps to manage the inflammation, keep brain health in a really good spot, and support daily function. Next, we have a sleep supplement. I'm taking Supreme Sleep. Decent, but the one I'm going to mention is magnesium biglycinate. Now, one of the reasons this is so beneficial is it helps to wind us down nice and chilled out in the evening and helps improve sleep quality as you're going through the day. This is one of those supplements we have got to be a little bit conscious of. If you overdose it, you're more likely to go and shit yourself. So just be really conscious of like starting slow and building up what you're going for. Personally, 4 to 6 milligrams per kilogram of 1 to 2 tablets is probably the spot on amount. Anything more than that's probably a bit intense. At the moment, with me being a few weeks out from photo shoot prep, I am taking something that's probably a bit more of a heavy hitter. This contains L-tyrosine, lemon balm, ashwagandha, magnesium, chamomile leaf powder, L-theanine, 5-HTP, zinc, and black pepper extract, which are all precursors of helping improve sleep quality. This one is a berry flavor. If I was being honest, I'd probably take a pill format so that I'm not consuming even more water before going to bed, so I don't wake up in the nighttime about to piss myself. So this is one of those bad boys that I think is really important. In terms of the benefits of magnesium biglycinate, it improves sleep relaxation and supports GABA receptors. So GABA is a compound produced in your brain. The more GABA that's produced in your brain, the more likely you are to rest, recover, and relax. If there's no GABA, your brain is going to feel absolutely wired. So we want to try and support the production of GABA to help you recover even more. Also helps you prevent cramps and spasms, especially in athletes. You know how it goes. The older hybrid athlete over here. And then it improves brain function and supports heart health, regulates blood pressure and cardiovascular function, and helps the neurotransmitter regulators, and also reducing anxiety apparently. So again, a very necessary one. So if you're struggling with your mental health, getting good quality sleep is very important. Now, lastly on the list, one that I consider not a supplement, but a daily essential for everybody, because I believe that everybody undereats on this all the time, and that is some form of protein powder. Now, I personally like the chocolate orange flavor from Perform right now. I think it's an absolute banger. They've got some great options. No, I am not sponsored by them. I think I'll ever will be, because ultimately my goal as a coach is not to be pushing products on you, but to give you recommendations based on what I enjoy. And you can take my advice anecdotally and go and try it yourself. I don't have a discount code, nor am I expecting one. I don't need any cash back. I do pretty well in coaching. And ultimately, I'm just telling you that I like this product, and that is all it is. But most people are under eating on protein, and it's one of the easiest ways to, one, make a calorie deficit easier to stick to when you're dieting. It keeps you fuller for longer. It helps improve your recovery. And because protein has a higher thermic effect of food, so what this means is it takes more energy to break down because it's a complex bond. You're actually going to burn more calories by taking more protein powder. So this is why we recommend quite a high protein amount for most of my clients when they're into their journey. At the very start of the beginning, we start low and build it up so that we don't affect their digestion too much. But I think everybody should be taking at least 1 to 2 scoops of protein powder a day based on their height and weight. For most people, that's about 1.8 to 2.2 kg per body weight. For instance, I'm 73, 74 kilos at the moment. I'm taking 220 grams of protein. That is essentially just to keep me full and get me through the day eating absolute dust of 1,840 calories. So this is why I find taking some extra protein powder is super convenient. You can package it up, you can take it with you. It's so much easier to smash one of these post-workout versus trying to eat some raw chicken breast when you're in the office. People aren't going to look at you, feel like you're weird if you're just eating chicken out of the Tupperware box versus smashing 2 scoops of protein powder with some fruit, right? So this is a good option for you if you need to. With my clients, I always recommend that they get 2 boxes, one that stays at work and then one that stays at home. If people are traveling, then it's an easy way for them to navigate that whole situation. Hopefully you found this useful. YouTube's going to recommend a video up here or here that is going to benefit you as well. So I'd highly recommend going and watching that so that you can continue your health and fitness journey. It's going to give you a ton of information. If you've enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe. Maybe let me know what your favorite flavor of protein powder is, because ultimately I'd love to try some new flavors. Next on the list is going to be carrot cake for me, I think. Peace.